Hello, chicken coop builders. Today we're going to make the windows. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the windows. Windows are harder than doors because you can see through them, which means that the frame inside of here, everything has to be flush on the insides because you can see it. When it was solid, you could move this trim around and it doesn't matter, but now we can see it. It's got to be flush. So we'll make our frame. And then I'll put this trim on here. This is a little over 2-inch trim on the sides, and this is 2-inch trim for the top and bottom. The top, as we're going to hinge it up here, will be flush. So 2-inch frame, 2-inch trim. The bottom, remember we cut these 2x4s down? So this is 2-inch, that's 1.5 inches. That's also 1.5 inches. Right? So that's all flush, top and bottom. This overhangs, that's the catch for the door. Here's the bottom, and there'll be a piece of 2-inch across here. Okay, we get all that done, then we'll flip it over and put an 1/8 inch piece of polycarbonate on the back side. And there'll be an extra room because I'm not putting the plywood in here, which means we got plenty of room for that polycarbonate to sit in there. You'll see all this later. Okay, and then we'll put some trim in here. Make it look nice. Let's get started. Okay, so that's the top and bottom rails for the 3 windows. And now I'm going to cut the side rails. Four sides for the 2 side windows. Now we got to do the back, really the front window. Alright, that's the front window. Alright, so these are the 3 frames for the 3 windows. This is the front, and this is the 2 sides. I cut them, I think, a little on the small side, so they should not bind up in there. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and do some pocket hole joinery on all 3 of these, and then we'll see how they fit in there. Alright, here's one of the side windows. See the gap there should be fine, and then the gap in the top, which seems pretty big, but it takes quite a bit of a gap. That's what I learned on the doors of the hutch. So if I get an 1/8 there, will that swing open? You know, we'll see. I think it'll be close, but that should be enough. We'll find out. So next up is we'll put the trim on here, just on the top and the sides. We'll leave the bottom open in case I have to cut it down. Get the 3 sides on there, put the hinges on, and see if it will close. And if it does, put the last trim on, put the polycarbonate in, and also the trim work. The windows, and I'm getting ready to trim it up. So I got a piece of 2-inch trim I'm going to put on the top. This is the top, this is the bottom. It's going to be flush on the inside and the outside, right? This is a little bit bigger than 2-inch because I wanted some more overhang. So basically it'll go about like that, right? Flush on the inside, overhang on the outside. Same thing over here. Flush on the inside, so we're flush all the way around. Then the bottom, go on like this, flush on the inside and overhang. This is what it stops on. But I won't put this on yet. First I'll hinge it up, put it in place, make sure that it actually closes in the opening. And if it doesn't, I'm going to trim this edge off. I can still run this through the table saw. I can trim this edge down until it does. And when it does, I'll put this last piece of trim on. And if the trim doesn't overhang enough, I can put a bigger piece of trim on until it does. That'll probably work. Alright, and then lastly, we'll probably come in and do something on the inside, some type of, you know, pattern in here. But that can wait. All right, let's get busy. Now, we'll set this up on the hen house and see if this will rotate in there or not. I've got this 1/2 inch router bit. Put in here. Alright, so far I got the frame, got all the trim on there, mounted the hinges, test fit them, had to cut them down, put a 1/4 round on it, finished out the trim, and now I'm working on all 3 of them at the same time. Here's the 2 side windows. So now I'm just patching them up. I got to sand them all down, make some type of a mutton trim for the inside, and then 2 coats of paint. Then I got to get the polycarbonate out, figure out how to cut that, get that on there and get them mounted. So windows are a lot of work. Coats, got the trim almost done. There's the other 2. Painted up, gotta do the trim, but next I'm going to cut this polycarbonate and then we'll get that screwed on to all the windows. Finished up the windows and they're all installed. Turned out better than I thought they would. I'm really happy with it. Of course they were a ton of work, but yeah, I think they turned out pretty nice. I was worried about the spacing, the proportion, but everything looks, I think, pretty good. The egg hutch is done. So it's all starting to come together. I'd say I'm over the hump now. I'm pretty sure, you know, a few weeks ago I wasn't sure if any of this was even going to work out. You know, it's the first time I've ever built one. So You never know. But now I'm pretty sure this is gonna work out, even though we've got a few pretty big challenges to do yet. But you know, with these back double doors and clean out door, that's gonna be interesting, but I think we can handle that. And then we're on to the home stretch, doing the run with the hardware fabric and the doors and things out there. Finish all the ladders and roosting bars up. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.